The boy Blue got a little backed up. Harold Jones, salute. I got a little backed up, man. Chris, what's up, baby boy? Hey, Chris, can you do me a quick favor? Could you sync these two together?
I'm watching All American right now.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
I got an app that escapes all ads.
Clifton Brunson, Carl Little Voice, Dane Watson, Harold Jones, Samuel S., Tackle Jones, Stephen Lamonte Hawkins. Salute to my peoples, man. Yeah, Avery Pendo, Sheldon Holmes, Dimitri Cohen, Jay Lee, salute. They ain't gonna like this stream today. You can tell my brother Kurt I sent that link. Zaza Brown, peace and blessings, Queen. Boston Good, salute. Gun-toting Democrat, salute. Pel C, Roderick Thomas, Roy Bartford, salute. And we getting calls already. We ain't even started with getting calls. Trying to call my brother Kurt Anderson, man, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar. Land of the 216, salute. John Legene. Ahmad is Ahmad, New Jersey. Stack Mill. TV. Ricky Chino. Salute, salute. Rashad McDowell. Lauren Bevel, peace and blessing, Queen. How you doing, Lauren? Eric Adams, salute. Jamil Allen, salute. Jay Good, my brother, what's shaking? Trying to get my brother Kurt on. Eating a cookie. Boston Barbecue, Ty King Allah, Mahiri, salute. There you go. There you go.
What's good? What's good? What's good, Blue?
What's shaking with you?
I'm just chilling, man. I was doing some work, man. I was on the phone with a client. I saw we were starting at 6:08. It went over, so I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, sir. They called me the last second. Thomas Moreland, Greg Zeno, Gregory Wyatt, salute. Ancestral Race, salute. They called me the last second and told me my car was ready.
Right. Okay.
So I had a rent-a-car.
Right.
So, I was trying to get that back as quick as possible, so I didn't have to pay. So that's why I got backed up, man. But I had to take that rental car, and they drive you over to your car and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wait for a little while. Dookie Dreadlocks, Playboy Marley, salute. Salute, salute. So yeah, we in the building, man. But title is that, Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence is the face of the sport of boxing. What you think about that, Kurt?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Canelo's popular, but he fights on the app, so that hinders his popularity. I always thought he was a star regionally, where the American star is usually the star in boxing. So there's a big difference. Errol Spence, is more popular than ever. Going through this tragedy. Him stepping back in the ring later, he's not ready now. And Deontay Wilder being a heavyweight, who has a fierce knockout punch, that always entice people. So their meteoric rise is still growing, man. And, depending on opponents like Spence and Crawford, and if Ruiz beats Joshua in dramatic fashion, then that fight is one of the biggest in boxing, if not the biggest, because they're heavyweights. Or if Joshua wins by knockout, then Joshua and Wilder will be back on. So I don't even say Fury because he want to be a clown. So Spence and Wilder has the opponents and they have the momentum right now.
What do you think about Alexander Usyk saying Tyson Fury is the hardest guy he's gonna have to go through, and Wilder's the easiest guy he's gonna have to go through?
You know what, man? These fighters, man, they always put down American fighters, man. Always. If it's our greats, they lose. This guy is easy. This guy be hard. I think, man, it's just, they're selling pipe dreams, man. And Usyk, no, if he wants to find out, then get in the ring with Wilder so he can hit you with that right hand so you can go out in the stretcher like Spilka. And then later tell us, who's the hardest fighter to fight in the heavyweight division. Nah, man. After that performance against Wallin and Schwartz, how can he say that? They just have this built-in desire to put Black American fighters down, man, at any cost.
Man, we're getting callers already.
Yes, sir.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy Vision representing Connecticut.
Salute. What's good? Salute to Connecticut, man.
Hey, what's good? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Your boy Demetrius Andrade can't get no fight, man.
Man, he's an idiot for signing to the. So, I mean, it's like you got to understand, what exactly what you're getting yourself in. Yeah, he signed to the zone, and they got all these other fighters over there that all are in the 160-pound division. But there was no. I guess he didn't get any real guarantee that he's going to fight these fighters. And I know Eddie Hearn's been making a lot of promises, probably to him about what he would be able to do. He hasn't been able to come through. Just like David Haney was supposed to get a title shot. Right off the bat, he wasn't able to make that happen. So, I mean, it's this kind of situation where, the guy's making certain promises, but they're not coming to fruition. They couldn't get the Deontay Wilder fight with Anthony Joshua to happen. There's a lot of things that this man has been saying when it comes to basically fights happening in America that he hasn't been able to come through with. So when you're making decisions, you got to understand what you're doing. And with Showtime, he had kind of got back into the good graces after that effery he did when he, walked away from that Charlo fight. He was kind of back into the good graces, and he decided to walk away and sign that DAZN deal. And it kind of sucks because, he could have been fighting on Fox. He could have been doing unification with Charlo, but he decided to go to DAZN, and he still didn't get the fight that he wanted, and he's in a closed platform. So he's not even getting any kind of real viewership or being seen by fans. Charlo didn't get the Canelo fight, but he's getting that viewership. What was it, 2-point-something million when he fought with his brother? And then, he had a homecoming fight where he did good views, and now he's about to fight at the Barclays at the end of the year. So that could have been him. But, he made the decision and he made the choice that he chose. So, unfortunately, my thing is, like, he just kind of got to he got to live with it. He can't cry about it. Just like with Terence Crawford when he re-signed with Top Rank, and he was talking about Womack was talking about how they had blank checks. They were going to be able to pay all these guys to come over there and fight, and that ends up not being true. Bob Arizona was saying he won't pay for Danny Garcia. He won't pay for Sean Porter. He won't pay for any of these guys. This blank check that was supposed to be available for Errol Spence, not there. So he put himself into a very, very tough situation. And to me, it's like you can't, we all knew what was going to happen, but now that the things are happening, people can't just all of a sudden start feeling necessarily bad for these guys and crying for these guys because they put themselves in this situation. So, you know what I mean? So I saw, and the funny thing is, before he signed with DAZN, saw Demetrius Andrade. He was at a fight at the Mohegan Sun. The tall dude, I forget his name, Smith, that knocked out what's his name? Knocked out Bernard Hopkins was fighting.
Yeah,
and
he's from New York.
Yep. He was over there, and I remember seeing him. There's like no one like even recognized this dude. I think there was like 2 people that approached him, and I was just looking at this dude. I was like, damn. I was like, I hope he makes the smart decision
I was there too, man. Alicia Napoleon was supposed to fight in that card too.
Yeah. She was, and I remember, the girl. I think she's American Indian, and she's American Indian. They had like the whole tribe coming and dancing on the way up there. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and the ring girls were pretty cool too. But yeah, it was a nice little cool event. My cousins were down from South Africa, so we had an awesome time. But I remember seeing him, and I said, I hope he doesn't make the wrong decision when it comes to this, and when it comes to wherever he goes to. And then when I heard he was going to the zone, I automatically said, it's a bad decision. He's not going to get the fight that he wants to see. Plus, he's in a closed platform, so he's not going to get the exposure he wants. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you gotta live with it. You know, you gotta live with it.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah, but
who's the face of boxing?
Yeah. I'll say right now, I would say the faces of boxing, I would say is Errol Spence and it is Deontay Wilder. I mean, people like to say Canelo, but Canelo's not necessarily, because again, Canelo's making his money, but he's in a closed platform, and his light is actually dimming because of the fact that he's in that closed platform. They don't get any kind of viewership. They're not, when it comes to promotion, and it's even hurting his gates. He went from having a $20 million gate against Gennady Golovkin to all of a sudden you're having number one, you're having a hard time selling a fight in New York City. That's number one. And then you're fighting Danny Jacobs in a unification bout. This should be a huge fight. It should have been a huge fight. Yet, I mean, that buzz that you usually get wasn't there, and he only does $9 million at the gate for a unification bout. With Canelo Alvarez, you would expect it to still be a huge fight, that was very successful, and it just wasn't that. So because of that, his light diminishing, and then you got the Wilders, and you got the Errol Spencers, and the platform that they have, like with the Fox, with the Showtime, but especially with Fox, and the way that Fox is pushing boxing, because they're pushing boxing the same way they used to push the UFC, and they're pushing boxing the same way ESPN pushes the UFC. They don't push boxing the same way, but they put the UFC the same way as Fox does. Because of that, I mean, and getting the right fights, they're in there. Like the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, it pushed him up a notch. And him fighting a Sean Porter, it pushed him much a notch. They keep giving fights that people want to see. The Wilder versus Fury, Wilder versus Ortiz. These are the fights people want to see. The old guard, which would be like the top rank, even like the Eddie Hearn, he's new, but he's still kind of like with the old guard. They want to talk about a fighter being great. Oh, this fighter's great. He's the best thing. He's this. And they think if they can just talk, that's going to have everybody just gravitate towards those people. And that's not the case. You still have to put good fights that people want to see. That's why with like the PBC, people trashed the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. All the old media, all the old guard kept on trashing it, but at the end of the day, the fans didn't care what they were saying because they were getting a fight they wanted. They trashed the Sean Porter fight. The fans didn't care. They still bought it. They trashed the Ortiz versus Wilder fight. People still went to see it. They trashed the Fury fight. People still bought tickets and went to see it, and they still got good pay-per-views for it. So, I mean, they don't understand that just talking BS doesn't work anymore, especially with the internet, especially people like the LDPC being out there, the new media being out there. There's all these different areas where people can get information now. It's not just those 4 or 5 writers that you have to grab a newspaper to read or to watch a TV to get the information from. It's not that anymore. So all that just trying to talk a fighter into being big doesn't work. We see with Tyson Fury right now. Trash basura numbers. 5,000 at the gate, 3,500 at the gate. It keeps dropping. All the momentum they put into Lomachenko. The dude still has to fight at the theater room. They can't put him in the big room. It'll be 90% empty because just talking about these people being great is not gonna do it. You have to put them in there with the fight that fans want to see, and they're not doing that. So because of that, it's opened up the door for the Wilder to get really big as he has, and it's opened up the door for the Errol Spence to get to where he is. And he's just going to keep getting bigger, and thank the Lord that he was able to survive the situation that he was in and come unscathed on some Miracle Man thing, because I had a friend back in the day also who also got into an accident like that, and he flew out the car like that, but we didn't get to go see him at the hospital.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We had to go see him. You know what I'm saying? We had to go see him at a wake, and we had to go bury him a couple of days after that.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So that's why, for the grace of God, I'm so happy that he was able to come out basically unscathed. I mean, I understand he got broken teeth and a few lacerations, but very minor things happened to him. You know what I mean? So he can still continue his progression into greatness. But because but he's basically becoming the face.
Yeah.
He's becoming the face. And if you want to get the opportunities to progress into the level that these guys are going to, I personally believe you have to deal with the people that are going to be pushing you the right way and giving you the right platform. And people can hate it, they can talk all they want, but it's PBC and it's Fox. Yep. And it's ESPN and it's Showtime.
Yep. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to get to the next call, but I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Oh yeah, and also, it's also I changed it to television, but before it was Brian Oloya. Used to call me Brian Oyola all the time.
Yeah, I know. Because my eyes are bad, man. I couldn't see the L, man. As you calling, I can see your name, and I noticed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all good though.
Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you.
Salute.
Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, I see my brother Chico in the on chat. Michelle Bouchard, peace and blessings. Queen DJ Zion Love, salute. Valdecris, salute. DeAndre Carey, salute. I know he's saying Canelo Alvarez, but I have to respectfully disagree, and I'll tell you why. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's good? What's your name? Where you calling from? All right. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Vincent B, salute. Matthew Valentine, salute. Tony Webb, salute. It's my brother CB Sports TV, salute. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on?
What's shaking?
Ricky from Brooklyn, New York. Ricky Chino coming back in.
Ricky Chino, BK in the building.
BK, Brooklyn. Peace.
Yeah. Before I even continue, I want to make sure I give a shout out to that dude that previously called. Broke down beautifully. Pretty much took out a lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about. But the main topic is who's the face of boxing. Both, I mean, it's hand in hand. You go with Spence, you go with Wilder, but if I have to choose one, I'm gonna go with Wilder due to the fact that he's shown the whole boxing world how to conduct himself as a boxer. He's not scared of nobody. He's fought the boogeyman of the division, which is so-called Luis Ortiz, and say, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna fight him again. Who does that? Nobody does that. Bro.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
and even Evander Holyfield said, listen. He said that he personally asked Deontay Wilder, and he said he told Deontay Wilder personally, "Are you nuts giving this man another opportunity?" That's what he said. He said nobody else. He said everybody keep talking about how old Ortiz is, but nobody giving him an opportunity.
Facts.
He's 100. You're 100% right, man. What you think, Kurt?
Absolutely, man. Fighting a dangerous guy like that, man, and people staying clear of him, man, and Wilder be the ones and could have been like, you see, I told you, I even knocked him out, and giving him another chance, that just goes to show you, man, he's looking for the best and biggest challenges. So, we'll see in November, but kudos to Wilder for giving Ortiz another chance, man, another payday. I think that has a lot to do with it. Because Wilder can relate, they got daughters together that's sick and giving another payday, man. So Ortiz should be very grateful.
Yeah.
Think about it though. All the other boxers in that same division is looking at all the moves he's doing. So when Wilder is really positioning himself, like if he clears out the whole division, which everybody on this panel and I think that he would. Where does that rank him amongst the best heavyweights of all time? If he does clean out the division the way and the fashion that he's been doing.
I'll let Kurt cook on that, Kurt.
Well, I can assess him better when he's finished with his career. If he goes undefeated and keep knocking out people, I will probably, oh man, it's tough. So many great heavyweights. I will probably have him at like maybe 9, maybe 10, but it depends if he goes undefeated or not. I mean, he's already 41 and 0 or 1 draw with 40 knockouts, something like that. You got Lewis and Ali and Holmes and Holyfield, and the other heavyweights, Dempsey, Tunney, so Frazier. So I have to see when his career is finished. He will probably be maybe number 10, number 9, the highest, but maybe 10 because he will go down, if not one of the best, the hardest hitting heavyweight ever.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, because we see a lot of the heavyweights, man. It's accumulation punches. This dude is putting everybody to sleep. And the thing about it, Kurt and my brother, the thing about it, Ricky Chino, the thing about it that I love about Wilder is he's doing this in the 12th round, right? He's still stifling. His punches are still stifling in the 12th round. It don't matter what round. He got the same power as he do in the first round as he do in the 12th.
That shit don't make sense, bro.
That's like, and he's coming in today. I watched the weigh-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all they saying to Usyk. I don't know if you guys caught it. You caught it, Curry. I don't know if you guys caught it. Right?
I didn't see it. I wanted to watch it.
Right. So this dude, they were raving. He came in, I think he came in 220, right? And they were raving. Oh, you see how small he is, and he's going to be able to compete in the heavyweight division. And they were just praising this dude for how small he came in, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking in my head, man, the last time I checked, Wilder came in at 209 against Tyson Fury. 209. Right. Man, that dude is a cruiserweight. That's a cruiserweight, man.
He's fine. Yo, I think I looked at his past couple fights. Every dude he's faced, his opponents had at least 30 to 25 pounds up on him. Like,
yeah, you know what it is that he's a cruiserweight. Just think about this. If he weighed in, all he did is rehydrate 9 pounds. He could have made 200 pounds.
Yep.
All he did was rehydrate. He didn't even rehydrate to as much as he came in a ring heavier than Usyk would rehydrate. Just let that sink in.
And think about it, he came in straight into the heavyweight division. He ain't like, let me clean out the cruiserweight and then come in. He went straight to heavyweight. So that just lets you
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like it's unbelievable that people don't understand, just how much he brings to the sport of boxing, right? The disadvantages he's at. He's coming in with he's like Kurt said, he could go down as the hardest punching heavyweight in history, and he's truly a cruiserweight.
Right.
Evander Holyfield said this yesterday too. He said, I seen this dude, Deontay Wilder, and I'm like, yo, I'm bigger than you.
Yo, Holyfield's still in good shape too, bro. Like I was
yeah.
That podcast he did. Yeah, he's still in good shape.
Yeah, he said, I see Wilder, and I'm like, man, I'm bigger than this dude. He told Wilder, I'm bigger than you, right? And Evander Holyfield was truly a cruiserweight that went up to heavyweight, right? So people felt like he overachieved when he went up to heavyweight. We knew he was skillful, but nobody understood that. I mean, people didn't expect him to do what he was able to do against the Giants. And think, Wilder could go down as the hardest puncher in the world, in the history of the sport of boxing, right?
Hold on.
And he's truly a cruiserweight.
Quick side note: how much pound did Mike Tyson like his average weight when he was fighting?
Like 220.
Yeah, 225.
Yeah, like 225. But remember, Mike Tyson was 5'11", 5'10".
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And Wilder shouldn't be 209, 215 fighting at his height.
Right, because he got a wiry frame, and that's what I'm saying, right? And so we got to look at this, right? Is that this dude? Mike Tyson got a lot of the praise because he was so short, the disadvantages,
right?
Because he was short and he had a lot of disadvantages, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was a lot of reason he got a lot of praise because people couldn't believe how short and his stature was, and he was able to compete with the giants. And boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that Mike Tyson got a lot of praise for that, because he was at a disadvantage. But yet, because of Wilder's height, it's overlooked. But he's at a disadvantage too. Am I right, Kurt?
Listen, he's a cruiserweight, but guys like that, that's wiry like that, those are the punchers, not the muscular guys so much. Mm-hmm. You know, the Bob Fosters and the Tommy Hearns and the Deontay Wilders, when you look at their frame, and the Tito Trinidads, they're lean, mean fighting machines. And Wilder power is natural. It's genetics. It's natural. Yeah. You can't teach punchers. He was born with that right hand, man, like Tommy Hearns was. And the way he knocked out Brazil and Spilka and Lahoyevich and on and on and on, you see how people react when you get hit with it. So if he put on weight, you know, fine. How much did he weigh against Brazil? He weighed a little more, right?
Yeah, he was 220, between 225 and 220.
Yeah. So, you know, if he keeps that on, man, you know, Fury wouldn't have got up. So, and plus he was sick, and people don't talk about that. He had a cold, I believe, and came in at 209.
He had the flu.
And you know, that's why Fury got up. If that weight was on and he was feeling right, Fury would still have been on the canvas right now. But, you know, Wilder's scary, man, because Shavers and Foreman, over the course of a fight, they lost power, you know, but Wilder keeps his power from the first round to the 12th round.
And he gets tested all the time. Yeah. To make sure it's proof. It's proof that it is no added incentives.
Facts. Ain't no steroids, ain't none of that.
Nothing.
I mean,
no, he's not the best technical fighter. He's not, but you know, when you're a heavyweight and you go punch like that, man, it's the X factor, man. I mean, you know, he's just a deadly puncher, man. Dangerous.
Yeah, and Holyfield said this too yesterday on the podcast. He said, I watch every Wilder fight. That's what he said. He said, and I don't like the fact that people say he gets all wild and all that. He said he only gets wild and when you're hurt. He said, and he knows you're hurt. He said, but show me a fighter that don't do that.
Right.
And that's what I've been saying. I was glad that interview solidified everything I was saying. I always say that. He gets overzealous and wild when you hurt. Every boxer does that though. Only a handful, you know, they'll pick and choose their punches. But we be Kurt, I know you do this, and I know you do this, Ricky. When you see them get somebody hurt, we be screaming, get on him, get on him, get on him.
Absolutely. It's a natural instinct for a human being to be like that.
Right.
You know, it's natural. It's an instinct.
Right. And so, you know, this is what I'm saying, man. You know, why do people act like he has all these knockouts? He has all these knockouts, right? But yet, do they all look the same? If all he had was power, they will all pretty much look somewhat similar, right? But all his knockouts look different because he sets them up.
Exactly.
Right? That Spilka, people don't give him enough credit for the way he knocked out Spilka. He lulled him.
That was a beautiful knockout.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful knockout.
He went to the ropes, he countered him and knocked him out. That's skill. That's skill.
You can't. It's not easy to just hit. Like once you're on that level, you ain't just knocking the dudes out. Like you gotta set that up. Like you can't just walk in and expect you just gonna knock out dudes.
Right.
That's what's up.
But go ahead, brother. Get to your next question.
Yeah. My last question, and I'm gonna let these callers come in. Is because I never looked this up, but I always wanted to find out when Crawford was a free agent, did PBC come to him?
He didn't give them an interview.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was his choice.
It was his choice. He never sat down with them. You know how you get college college players that's and NBA free agents, and you do these meetings and sit downs and interviews, and you weigh out your options. And he didn't even give them a chance, an opportunity.
So with that being said, like, you can't feel sorry for dude, bro. Like, you put all that in your, because I love Crawford, bro. Like that, like, in my opinion, he's kind of like skill wise, he's, in my opinion, he's the best right now. I got him number one.
Yeah. The problem is he put himself in that position.
Yeah, so like you can't really feel too sorry for dude. Like,
he don't like the fact that we tell him that he put himself in a position, but you put yourself there.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, I think, is the best boxer in the world. Right? But Terence Crawford is not the biggest boxing star in the world.
Nope.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
Because he's undefeated. He has all the skill set. He could do it all in the ring. But yet, he's not a star. Just like Demetrius Andrade. Right? They put themselves in this position. Right? They allowed themselves to be in this. There was absolutely no reason right now for Demetrius Andrade to sign with a new platform that has not been proven when coming out of a situation that was holding you back. You're coming out of an anchor situation and you go to another situation that's not even proven. Like, why would you do that?
He saw that upfront money and went for it.
Exactly. And now he ain't happy in his position. I mean, Eddie Hearn is his promoter. Eddie Hearn just did an interview, right? His fighter, Demetrius Andrade, is undefeated and has a belt. He's WBO champion, right? Mm-hmm. And Eddie Hearn, who's his promoter, on the platform that brought him to this platform. Demetrius Andrade was on this platform before Gennady Golovkin. He was on this platform before Canelo Alvarez. Right? He was on this platform before all these guys, right? Yeah. And Eddie Hearn sits there and says, if Gennady Golovkin can't get the fight with Canelo Alvarez, he's going to fight the other guy. That's his mandatory. Wow. But they'll make an exception for Canelo. But if he can't get that, then he's going to fight his mandatory. Well, why would they make an exception for Canelo Alvarez when Canelo Alvarez is just a belt holder himself? What's the difference between Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade? Now, we know that Canelo Alvarez is a bigger draw, obviously. Right, but what I'm saying is in the boxing world, right? When you talk about the business of the sport of boxing, when you're talking about sanctioned bodies giving somebody a pass, why would the IBF give Gennady Golovkin a pass for Canelo Alvarez, but they won't give him a pass for Demetrius Andrade?
You know what that is.
Right. But as your promoter, if I'm Demetrius Andrade and I'm sitting there watching my promoter say this, wouldn't you have an issue with that? I would have an issue with that, right? What you mean they're going to give him a pass? So why are you not doing your best to give me a pass?
Right.
Am I right, Kurt?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, it's from the outside. Like, there have to be somebody in these corners, like, just keeping all of this shit and having, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you see what your boy Eddie Hearn said? Like, they got to be having dudes in these camp bringing them type of information like that. Like,
hey, man, I know he sees this stuff personally. I know he sees it personally. And so this is what I'm saying, right? How could you, why are you not making a riff? I'm glad that he's going back and forth with Canelo right now via social media, but that don't help. Right, I'm glad he jumped in the ring with Gennady Golovkin after the fight. Right, now he gonna have to do is go put the pressure on Jamal Charlo. That's his only option.
Yeah,
he's not gonna get the he hasn't landed a big fight yet.
Oh boy,
not yet.
Yeah, belt, bro. Like,
and Demetrius Andrade, and Billy Joe Saunders is another Eddie Hearn fighter, right? Mm-hmm. Why is he not getting that fight?
You know what that is.
Right. You understand? Are you sitting there? Are you telling Eddie Hearn, listen, are you doing your best to give me these fights, bro? Because I don't know. See, it couldn't be me, man.
Yeah.
I would be far more too vocal. And listen, this is my livelihood. Every day as an athlete that passes by is a day you got older. It's a day closer to Father Time knocking on your door. You don't have time as an athlete to waste no time.
Right.
None.
That's why I respect Wilder most out of any boxer. But he he got a list and he just scratching them dudes off. Bro. Like, I got a couple dudes left up.
Let me tell you what Wilder do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all what Wilder do. He take a page right out of Floyd Mayweather book. See, Floyd Mayweather, whether you like Floyd Mayweather or not, he gave these dudes the blueprint.
Exactly.
Right? And so guess what Floyd Mayweather used to do? What Wilder does? He contacts the fighters personally.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. He talked to Ortiz personally. He talked to Joshua personally. He talked to Tyson Fury personally and said, let's get it done.
Right.
Right? Wilder contacts these dudes personally. These dudes' pride don't let them want to extend the olive branch, the olive leaf. Right?
Yeah.
Right? You guys got to go personally talk to these dudes, man. Hey, what's your like Crawford said to Errol Spence that day? You got I FaceTimed you, and Errol said, I ain't got your number.
Yeah,
and he said, save it. Right? Right? He says, save it. So I'm sure behind the scenes that they have conversations because that's a huge fight.
Right.
But when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, hey man, go and do this behind the scenes, without your promoter. So that way you can gauge if your promoter is putting his best foot forward, you can see who's telling the truth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's telling the truth? You can gauge the temperature yourself. Man, he now he's putting the pressure on. You understand? He used to show up to the Charlos fights. Hey, can I get that fight? Can I get that fight? Hey, you're doing that, man. But business-wise, you're not putting yourself in the best position to get to land the fights. That's the problem with Demetrius Andrade. Hey, we're gonna have to get to the next caller, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yep,
salute, brother.
Yes, sir. You too. Hey, listen, we'll be back on tomorrow, man, because we missed too many days this week. So we'll be back on tomorrow. So just look out for it. All right. All right. Yeah, Kurt, you know what I'm saying? And I want to get to this, man. I know a lot of people going to say Canelo Alvarez the face of boxing. My brother Chico, he going to say Canelo Alvarez the face of boxing. No, I have to disagree, bro. I have to disagree. And I'm going to tell you why. I told you guys this earlier, and I'm going to explain it again. Canelo Alvarez received a relay, a baton, from the greatest, the biggest icon in the sport of boxing history, not named Muhammad Ali. That's named Floyd Mayweather. He received a baton, right? He was on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather carried him on these papers. He gave him those positions. And
absolutely.
so, what's your name? Where you calling from? Just hold on 1 second, all right?
Yes, sir.
So Floyd Mayweather, right, passed Canelo Alvarez a baton. He had him as the co-main event on his pay-per-view events. By the time Canelo Alvarez started fighting, Floyd Mayweather wasn't doing nothing but fighting on pay-per-view. He carried Canelo Alvarez as his co-main event on his pay-per-views, 2 of them to be exact, and then the last one, he actually fought him. So he put him in a position to be the face. He directly, it was a relay race, and he passed him the baton directly, right? So that's the reason why Canelo Alvarez was gifted the position. He was gifted the position. Canelo Alvarez had a big following in Mexico, but he didn't have this type of following that he has now. He has this following due to the fact that Floyd Mayweather relayed him and passed him the baton. Errol Spence didn't have that. Deontay Wilder didn't have that. They're carving their own niche out. So by default, they are the face of the sport of boxing. Why? Because they are carving their own niche out to the world and becoming superstars in the sport of boxing. So essentially, Canelo Alvarez is living off of Floyd Mayweather's creation. That's what he's doing. If Floyd Mayweather had Deontay Wilder as his co-main event on all his pay-per-views, and when Floyd Mayweather said, listen, I'm done, of course Deontay Wilder will be the face of boxing. Because he's revealing you, he's exposing you to a larger audience. Casuals. You understand? As the co-main event, right? As the co-main event, You see, you could be undercards on a pay-per-view event that's big and still don't get noticed because people don't start filling in yet, right? People don't start watching yet, right? They don't pay attention. You order the fight, you got a barbecue going. Floyd Mayweather, his pay-per-views was an event. It was a party. It was a holiday. It turned into a holiday, right? People was barbecuing that didn't even watch boxing. It turned into a complete barbecuing. Every sports bar, Buffalo Wild Wings, Applebee's, sports bar, every place had an on Floyd Mayweather fight. Every place. And so the undercards, people mingling, they talking, they might miss it. But as the co-main event, when it gets close to Floyd Mayweather fighting, your eyes are on the television. Your eyes are on the television. You understand what I'm saying? So people are paying attention now as the co-main event. And they start to ask the question, how long till Floyd Mayweather fight? Who's this fighting? Right? And then you got Canelo Alvarez versus Shane Mosley. Or you got Canelo, you understand what I'm saying? So he's in a position to be a superstar. And then when Floyd Mayweather fought him, he continued what Canelo Alvarez did, and I give Canelo Alvarez credit for doing this. What Canelo Alvarez did was he continued the success. He didn't let it fall by the wayside. A lot of these other guys that lost to Floyd Mayweather, they never were the same. He got better. So he continued to hone his craft. But you can see, even after the Mayweather fight, he changed his style of fighting. He changed his style of fighting. He's more like a James Toney. Look at Canelo Alvarez prior to Floyd Mayweather fight, and then look at Canelo Alvarez after Floyd Mayweather fight. Two different fighters. He changed his style. And so if Muhammad Ali passes the baton to somebody else, of course they're going to be a huge star. But can Canelo Alvarez have done that? And we'll never know. But what I give him credit for is continuing the success. Right? It's almost like he don't have a loss. It's like he don't have a loss on his resume. Right? So he was passed the baton. So the difference is Deontay Wilder, his skill set, his knockout power is awarding him to the position he's in. Deontay Wilder did that. Nobody else did that. Right? Errol Spence, hard work, his dedication, right, to the sport. This is what put Errol Spence in the position that he's in today's time. To see all the love he got. That's what happened. It's different with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez doesn't speak to media. He could get away with that because Floyd Mayweather said he was the next best thing. When Floyd Mayweather talked, everybody used to listen. Hey man, this dude is great. That's how Errol Spence's popularity, a part of his popularity grew from the sparring session. Everybody wanted to see who he was because we heard that he blackened Floyd Mayweather's eye in sparring, and it was unheard of. So it's just different. What you think, Kurt?
Yeah, see, the difference with Spence and Wilder and Canelo is that Canelo rise to stardom wasn't organic. It was, Floyd passed the baton, like you said. He was built up to be a star, and Floyd saw that. With Spencer and Wilder, it was organic. They had to start from ground zero. That's the biggest difference, and took the long way. Canelo is like, to me, a regional star. On the East Coast, he's popular, but he's not that mega star that they make him out to be. Because remember when he fought Fielder at Madison Square Garden on the day of the fight, that fight wasn't sold out. They had to give the rest of the tickets away. And he's big in Mexico, of course, obviously, California and Texas. So you stick him at the T-Mobile Arena, it's going to seem like he's the face of boxing, but basically the face of boxing is normally an American fighter, because a lot of fighters, foreign, when they want to become stars, they have to go through America. There's only been like 5 or 6 stars in the last 50 years who are crossover. And you can go Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya had a female fan base, and Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And that's like for 50 years. Mm-hmm. So it's not easy. He's a star. He's not a crossover star. Spencer's not a crossover star yet, and Wilder, but they're getting there. With each fight, they both came off successful pay-per-views, and they're fighting on a platform that's promoting boxing. So you know, to me, Wilder then Spence. Canelo fights on the app. So that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, exactly, man. But go ahead. What's your name? Where you calling from, brother?
Man, my name is Julian the Truth, and I'm calling from all over Ohio.
Julian the Truth.
Yeah. I was purposely like, I know that's my brother Junior. You know what I'm saying? What's shaking with you, King?
Julian the Truth, man. What's going on, man? What's going on with you?
Man, you got a Kurt Sugar, man. I'm just chilling, man. Just chilling. I'm driving, making my ride back home from the East Coast, man. I'm tired. You feel me?
Yeah,
I'm just now passing.
You gonna do your show tonight?
I'm not gonna get home, man, till after midnight. I might go live. I'll still be driving, so I might go live at like 9 o'clock and talk crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta do the Punch Junkie this morning, man.
Please do, bro, because you know what I'm saying. I look forward to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to add on to that. I agree for the most part with what you guys were saying as it relates to Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather passing the baton. But man, I can't let it go. I can't let the conversation go by without, and this is gonna hurt for me to do this, without paying respect to Golden Boy Promotions, because they did their thing with Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I hate Golden Boy. I hate Chef Oscar with the pots, but they were on fire at that time, man. And so they did the work. You know, they definitely did the work with regard to Oscar De La Hoya being able to position Canelo with the Mexican American and Mexican fan base, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Canelo was able to piggyback off of the popularity and the powers of Oscar, man. Because Oscar, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? I don't like him now, but he was a bad mofo, man.
Yeah,
he was a bad mofo, and he was a global star, and a global icon. So he was able to position himself and leverage his drawing power and his popularity and pass a piece of it to Canelo. You understand what I'm saying? The main thing that's holding Canelo back to keep him from being that coast-to-coast regional star is the fact that he doesn't speak English. He doesn't do interviews and stuff, and he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, but we got to remember too, Junior. Remember when that was happening, Floyd Mayweather was under that banner too,
right?
And Richard Schaefer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and definitely Oscar did move him. You know, he was moving him correctly, but Floyd Mayweather was in on those meetings like, listen, let's put him on my card, because remember that it all started happening when he fought Kermit Cintron. Remember when he fought Kermit Cintron, and they was like, oh, he could beat Floyd Mayweather. I remember I'm just watching regular night, watching boxing, and I'm like, oh, all right, we got Cinnamon in the building. You know what I'm saying? Redhead Mexican. And he beats Kermit Cintron, and it started. The hype train started. He could beat Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather took to it. You know what I'm saying? And it just built up, you know, a head of steam from there on. But you're definitely right, man. Oscar De La Hoya, at that time, man, they had a machine. You know what I'm saying? Yep. They had Floyd, they had Richard Schaefer, Oscar, Bernard, man, they had a machine. You know what I'm saying? And you're definitely right. They definitely moved him along. And like I said, I give Canelo's credit for not wavering. He didn't fumble it away. He took it and kept running with it. And like you said, you know, if he had speak English and do, you know, more interviews with us, you know, and it's not that he don't do it with us purposely. And I tell people that all the time. I'll tell you again. I've been in places with Canelo. I've been in a press conference. It's not that he don't do it with us. It's just that he don't understand. It's a language barrier. So it's just not comfortable for him. You know what I mean? And we could fault him and say, listen, you got to learn English. But if he could, he would. You know what I mean? Because he tries. It's kind of pointless. You know what I'm saying? When you're standing there, it's like he gets frustrated. You know what I mean? So, but if he understood English, he could take his status to a whole nother level. But I'm just saying, you know, Errol and Deontay, they built it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? And so if they had the baton, just think the star power, the attention Errol Spence got just solely off of a sparring session with Floyd. He didn't get on his pay-per-views. He didn't fight Floyd. Imagine if Errol Spence was on his co-main event for 2 cards and then fought him. and then continued on the path he's on right now, Errol Spence would be Floyd Mayweather right now. At the very least, he'd be Manny Pacquiao status. You know what I'm saying? And so because he handled the baton. So the fact that Errol Spence had a sparring session with Floyd Mayweather, he's still known for that. Every time I'm with him and somebody doing an interview with him, somebody asks him about the sparring session. It's so many years later. But that just the fact, this is the impact that Floyd Mayweather have on the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to directly pass the baton to Canelo, see, I give Canelo credit. Somebody could give you the cheat to a test. It's up to you to still make sure you take the test properly and use it. You know what I'm saying? Now, Floyd gave him the cheat to the test, and Canelo took it and took advantage of it. You dig what I'm saying? So I respect him for that. But as far as creating his star status, he didn't create it. You know what I'm saying? Wilder and Errol Spence are creating their lane. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference I'm saying, bro.
And let me say this, man. I want to jump in here real quick, and Kirk, I really want to hear you cook on this too. But I'm gonna slide out of here so I can get out the way for the other callers. But I just have a message to these fighters that's up and coming, man. You know, all respect due to Floyd Mayweather, his team, what he did, what he meant to the sport, all of that kind of stuff. But we're coming up on a new era, man. And the new fighters coming up, I know a lot of you guys listen in and all of that shit, man. Your popularity and your star power is gonna come down to three things. First of all, you got to connect to your fan base, man. We live in the social media age where you have access to speak directly to your fan base via social media, via these independent outlets, Blue Blood Sports TV, Trill Boxing Talk. You understand what I'm saying? The Smoke City Mobcast. These people are here for you. Like, we've created these platforms for y'all to connect directly to your fans. Use it. Mm-hmm. Secondly, man, your money and your bag is not going to be attached to you protecting your oath. We don't give a hell about undefeated. It's going to come down to two things. First of all, your willingness to take on the best fights. Your willingness to deliver the best fights to your fans. Give us the fights we want to see, first of all. Secondly, it's going to come down to your ability to deliver a performance in those fights. I don't give a fuck about a loss. I don't care nothing about you losing. If you come in, you compete, you show that you're an elite level fighter, you're a champion, you're always going to be a champion in my book. Why do you think I cheer for Showtime Sean Porter? Yeah, he got 3 losses, but he's lost against elite level competition. So fighters, you got to connect, man. You got to connect and stay connected and get this shit out the mud. And also, man, you got to deliver these fights, man. Blue Blood, Kurt Sugar, I love y'all. Hey, Kurt, I'm telling you, Kurt Sugar, I think we on the Cubs, man. That Errol Spence versus Showtime Sean Porter was a throwback fight, man. Mm-hmm. That was a throwback.
Absolutely, bro.
We're almost at a breakthrough. If these dudes, you know what I'm saying, with Errol Spence, with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder leading and paving the way, it's time for these other dudes to come on out and play, man. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Appreciate you, Junior.
Peace, Junior.
All right,
Junior. He hung up before one of them send out, and that's my brother Junior the Truth, man. Go subscribe to Junior the Truth. Go subscribe to my brother's channel, man. His channel should be far bigger than what it is. I know he don't care about that, but I do. Go subscribe to his channel, man. Go support my brother Junior the Truth, man. Get the subscribers up, man. Get his subscribers up, man. I know he don't care about it, but I do. Go ahead, Kurt.
Absolutely, man. Junior Truth got a big personality, man. His show is popping, man. Ohio born player made. That's Junior Line, man. I love it. I love his show. He has a very good show, man. Very entertaining, man. He was dropping some jewels, playing them slow jams, that I like so much, man. So, y'all subscribe to Junior the Truth, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And like he said, man, I want to say this again and piggyback off what he was saying about the fighters and everybody supporting us. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm going to say this again. Yesterday, Errol Spence was in a horrific wreck and could have lost his life, could have resulted in a loss of life. And God willing and God bless that it wasn't. But we was talking about it. ESPN didn't mention it. When they did mention it, they had a little stroll ball this big going across the bottom under category. So it wasn't its own entity. right? They still had soccer, NFL, NBA, NHL, boxing. And then when the thing, it goes to each category, right? Boom, boom. Once it got the boxing, it said unified welterweight champion Errol Spence ejected from his car or something like that. And then it went on to the next thing. It wasn't breaking news. It wasn't a huge thing, right? But it was a huge for us. And we supported it. And so this is why we tell you guys to lock in with us, right? When I'm at the party with Deontay, right, and I say, Chan, you know what I'm saying? We gonna ride with you till the wheels fall off. And when the wheels fall off, we're gonna help you put a new set on and continue to ride again, right? And he said, that I know, that's why I rocks with y'all. And so he locked in with us. Errol is locked in with us. And guess what? This is what we say about Terence Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? Errol's life was on the line. He's a superstar in the sport of boxing. And guess what? ESPN is the biggest platform in the world. Worldwide leader in sports. And it wasn't that important to them. It wasn't that important to them. It was important to us. It was important to us. We shed tears over it. We shed tears. I had over 1,100 people in my live stream. Trill had 1,200 people. The Boxing Voice had 1,200 people. So Fred to my time, it's 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock to him, 12 o'clock at night. He still had 600-700 people. Cali had 400 or 500 people. Right? Because we care. We care. Right? But ESPN, those platforms, I ain't see Joe Rogan talk about Errol Spence, right? I ain't see ESPN or did TMZ say anything positive about it? Was it an all-day breaking news thing? Because it still was all-day breaking news with us. And the fans here still was hitting us up. They was hitting me up, so I know they was hitting up 7-8. 7-8 had 800 people watching. So I know behind the scenes, like I was getting hit up. Hey, how Errol, man? What's the new diagnosis? His fans. And ESPN, all these big platforms, so-called mainstream media. Where was the big article from Dan Rafael? The Karen one. Not just to announce what happened. Where was the heartfelt announcement from Dan Rafael? Right? Where was the heartfelt announcement from any of those guys? It didn't exist. So this is why we tell y'all, we are this is why new media, LDBC, this is why it's the takeover. Because we truly care about them. And when we lost them boxes, I ain't see that on ESPN. When those couple of boxing matches resulted in a loss of life, I didn't see that on ESPN. Did you, Kurt?
No, boxing is an afterthought to them.
Right. So this is why we asked them to lock in with us. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, what's the dude name? He said he wanted to debate me. What's this dude name, man? I will gladly designate you. El Jeffy. Call in, brother. Call in.
He a Canelo fan.
Yeah. Call in, brother. Call in. You see the number there. Come on, brother. I'm going to show enough you, man. Get you to the designated place at the designated time, and I'm going to gladly designate your you know what. Call in, brother. Call in. That's why we got the phone line there. Yeah, a Canelo fan. I see him in the comment section, right? But see, he don't realize I know boxing. So call in, brother. Call in. Come tell me how Canelo was a bigger star. He was this huge star before Floyd Mayweather put him on the map. Come tell me that. Come tell me the numbers he did when he fought Kermit Cintron. Tell me those numbers. I shouldn't even said that because now he's going to get on his Google. You know what I'm saying, Kurt?
Canelo wasn't a huge star. See, what helped Canelo was he looked Irish. So, you know, in a weird way, Mexican was proud of that. He had red hair. So everything like worked out.
What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello.
It's El Jefe?
Yeah, it's El Jefe, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear, man. Can you hear me?
All right, I'm outside, but I don't know if you can hear the wind.
I can hear you. It's all right, so it's good.
All right, man. So what's the question you have? What's the debate about? Because I'm talking about Canelo being the face of boxing right now, not the Floyd Mayweather.
Right, but what I'm saying is he was gifted the position right now. So by default.
Wait. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. What do you mean he was given, bro?
He that's what I'm asking. So he was a star in the sport of boxing before Floyd Mayweather?
No, I'm saying he built himself, and nothing was.
No, he ain't built himself. He was given that position.
No, he wasn't. I'm saying he built himself to that situation to get the fight.
He built himself to get the fight with Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah.
Who did he fight?
He beat Trout before he fought Mayweather.
You know why he fought Austin Trout?
No, don't tell me. What do you think?
Floyd Mayweather told him to fight Austin Trout.
There's no facts about that, man. That's just.
There's no what? No what? Floyd Mayweather said, "You fight Austin Trout, I'll give you an opportunity."
I didn't hear about that news.
Hey man, you gotta do your homework. You can't debate Blue and don't do your homework, bro. Floyd Mayweather.
You guys showed me some paperwork on that shit.
Listen, it's just Floyd Mayweather. You've been watching boxing. I'm sure you're a fan of the sport of boxing. We know that Floyd Mayweather put these people in this position, and he tells them, "Listen, if you fight this person, I'll give you an opportunity." Did you know Canelo Alvarez got mad at Floyd right before the last pay-per-view and told Floyd, "Listen, I'm not fighting nobody else you tell me to fight unless you sign the contract to fight me next." Did you know he did that? He told Floyd Mayweather, "If I'm not fighting on your undercard and I'm not fighting nobody else you tell me to fight, because now you got me on the goose hunt. So if you don't sign the contract to fight me, then I'm not doing it. I'm not signing." And he crossed his arms and sat back on the chair like a little kid. Did you know he did that? Hey, where you go, brother? You still there? My brother, I see you still on the line. Hello. Going once.
Hello?
Yeah. So Floyd Mayweather, you heard what I told you? Hello? Hey, my brother, come on, man. Don't play that. Don't play the don't do that, man. Bro. All right, man. We're gonna get to the next caller. But Kurt, we understand what that is, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Mexican fans gonna say Canelo is the face of boxing. I know it's pride, and there's nothing wrong with that. I see from a Mexican perspective where they're coming from, but he's not. He's not a. I mean, he's popular in New York, but he's more popular in Mexico and on the West Coast than anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly, man. So so I try to tell people, man. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Stonebone Boxing, calling from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Salute to Stonebone Boxing. What's good?
Man,
Salute.
Man, just chilling, man. Just laughing at that little thing. And also, the Floyd gave you that space. And also, we all know that you can't call Canelo the biggest pay-per-view star no more. He ain't on pay-per-view no more.
Yeah, he ain't on
the biggest app star. Maybe he's the biggest app star. You can call it that, but he ain't a pay-per-view star no more. He's not on pay-per-view. The biggest pay-per-view star right now would be Deontay Wilder or Spence. Clearly, because who else is doing that too?
Hey, yo, Stonebone. And you know what, Stonebone? Let me ask you this, right? Because I don't even remember. I'm gonna ask you and Kurt this. After Floyd Mayweather, Canelo fought on pay-per-view, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And not Triple G, but what was those pay-per-view numbers? Because I don't even remember.
Yeah.
He fought Kirkland was on pay-per-view, or that was regular TV?
No, that was regular HBO. He fought Khan on pay-per-view.
HBO.
Oh, okay.
It was right after Kirkland. I think it was like they was live, and the first reports that came out was talking about his first pay-per-view doing 150,000, and then Golden Boy came out saying it was 300 and some thousand. So I don't know, man. But also, hey, man, since you LDBC, man, I got a beef with LDBC real quick, man. I support all the channels, man. I pay attention to everything, man. And I'm a real Crawford fan. You know what I mean? I'm one of the people who, when me and my girl saw that, my girl, she a boxing fan because of me. And first thing she did, she started saying a prayer for him. She's like, damn, man, that's the one I want good to be there. Man, I hope he all right. You know what I mean? Like, really cared how he was doing. It wasn't no malicious aid or nothing like that coming from real Crawford fans, man. So I want the LDBC to understand that some of these people y'all be seeing in the chat be fucking Russian troll bots. So y'all gotta stop trying to lump these what you see in your chat from some weirdos that don't even got a profile pic talking about Crawford fans listen bad on Errol Spence. Real Crawford fans follow Bud's lead in his statement and had sincere hope and prayer for Errol Spence. I'm a black guy, and that's another black guy. I want to see him in his best position. I don't want to see him laying on the street, dying from no damn car wreck. And last thing, also, man, everybody that I paid attention to, man, once it's kind of sad, man. You need to tell the LBC a little bit that it's sad that as soon as that I got the reports that you know what I mean, that Earl is, you know what I mean, just teeth and shit like that, no broken bones. It was right back to Terence Crawford. Like, on the malicious level, it's just like, hold on. 12 hours ago, we were supposed to be peaceful and all this shit. But soon as you hear it just missing teeth, you didn't even waste one time before every channel. Not every channel, but as I'm watching for another title, I flip to KQ. It's a Crawford. It ain't even Crawford in the title. It's another. I'm like, come on, man. Let's stay on the note. We can have better intentions for what we want to happen. We can walk in the fight, and we don't gotta be decent. We can discuss who got better footwork, who got the better jab. We can discuss boxing things. We don't gotta take it personal because Bud don't talk to stuff. Bud don't hardly talk to nobody. If you walk up to him in a public space at a fight, he'll talk to you. How many LDBCs have ever called to try to even get an interview with him, but they say, "Oh, he hates the LDBC." That's not true.
Well,
no LDBC has ever texted or even called to get an interview with him.
Well, let me tell you. Let me.
On the LDBC.
Well, let me.
Bomac has been on the Smoke City.
But let me tell you this.
Let's keep it above board, guys. You know.
All right. Let me tell you. Let me explain to you. Right. It's Crawford's demeanor towards us, right?
But dudes. We not trying to be roller type dudes.
No, I dig it. But listen. When you walk up we all professionals. He's a professional athlete, right? And I'm a journalist, right? And so I walk up to him, right? And he sees us, and he says, not me personally, but I'm just giving you an example. And this is on TV, on tape, right? And he looks at him and he says, I ain't talking to y'all. Talk to my man, right? And like you said, we from the hood, right? We from the streets, right? If somebody do that to you, you're gonna take it personal, right? If I shun you and be like,
why?
Huh? Why? No. Listen. I'm gonna tell you why. Like if you walk, I
don't take shit personal from another man.
No, I feel you. But listen, if you see me on the streets, right, and you be like, "Yo, Blue, what up?" and I'll be like, "Yo, man, talk to my man. Don't talk to me." You ain't gonna support me no more.
But the thing is, though, it's a difference between not supporting and like nigga, like a fucking. We've been on like a 6-month campaign.
Well, here's the thing. He went.
Hold on, but I'm just saying. If I was Terence Crawford and I was just sitting at the crib one day bored, let me check out the YouTube boxing community. Let me check out. You know, I said, oh, LBBC. Oh, damn, I like some of these guys. And then I go through the videos. I wouldn't talk to y'all niggas either.
But you got to understand.
Shit on them, I hear. Yeah, but none every video that type stuff.
But hold up, fam. We got to censor. We have to censor our language because of YouTube. But it's all good. It's all good. But the thing is, if you look at it before Terence Crawford started shunning us, right? He started doing that far before it got to this point, and it was for no reason, right? Because he don't stop talking to certain media. You see what I'm saying? So when you do that,
you can name 3 interviews from any media that Crawford has done in the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, but if he do an interview with Fight Hype, he never walked away from them. When Fight Hub walked up to him, he never walked away from them. When Michelle Joy Phelps walked up to him, he never walked away from them. But we the ones that support him.
Y'all, how y'all support him, bro? All I hear is shit talking and Fanon shitting on him.
Hey, listen, look, me and Fanon. Let me listen. Look,
some days I have to turn the channel, bro.
But listen to this, bro. Listen to this. Me and Fanon debated about Crawford and Spence, right? So I support Terence Crawford. Why he ain't do an interview with me?
But I'm not talking. You know I'm not talking about.
I know. But I'm just saying. But that's what I'm saying. But he's still.
The LGBTC,
When
we talk about the LGBT, when we look at you, the LGBT is, believe it or not, it's like a news network. You know what I mean? You got like a Fox News. You got actual reporters, and then you got your opinion people.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I look at you more as a reporter, actually doing reporting. For 9 them pontificating, you know what I mean?
Right, but did you see like he judged 7-8. He judged 7-8 before he even talked to him.
All right, Blue, let me say something.
Go ahead.
And a brother on the phone from Colorado Springs, Mike Alvarado, from the state of Colorado. I like Mike Alvarado, but you got to understand the boxing is an underhanded sport. So we're like in a 5% projectile. If you're a hardcore boxing fan and you know the sport, you're like in a 2% projectile. If you're a boxer historian that can go back to the 1600s and you know it inside out, you're in the 1% projectile. So you're going to have trolls because boxing is a very compelling sport. Let me get, case in point. When Ali fought Frazier, there was fights in the street because, if Ali told you to hate Frazier, a lot of people hated Frazier, was calling him Uncle Tom and this and that.
Yeah.
Even with Holyfield, when Tyson fought Holyfield was so disrespected, it was disgusting. The odds opened at 25-1, and then the late money, the odds went down the day of the fight. But they were saying, in the interviews, Holyfield, are you scared you're going to get knocked out? Like telling them to brace for a knockout. And the fans was dissing them. So when you have a big fight, it seems like the majority of the crowd always favor one over the other. And LDBC, they love Spence. We love Spence. I think Crawford is going to beat Spence. I told people that Crawford was going to beat him. But I love both fighters like Leonard and Hearns, but so when you're going to have trolls and you're going to have people who don't really know the sport like that, because that's just boxing always attract unsavory characters. Boxing always attract people who are weird, who are kooks, racist. They attract all that for some reason. So you're going to get that, so 10 people, 1 or 2 may know the sport very well.
Right, and the thing is, you gotta look at it like this, right? It's just like I was just saying. Look at the situation with Errol Spence, right? Like you said your girl knows the sport through you, right? And she felt, even you a hardcore Crawford fan, but you and her felt for Errol Spence, right? Because we the engine. You dig what I'm saying? But ESPN, who Terence Crawford to do an interview with, not saying that he shouldn't, but he do an interview with TMZ. He do an interview with Joe Rogan. He do an interview with ESPN, right? But when it boils down,
them people, y'all don't even reach out, bro. Y'all just get from afar. Like y'all seen him one time. Nobody reach out. Like how the fuck?
No, bro, you got it wrong, bro. You got it wrong, bro.
No views on my channel.
Listen.
I called through to get through to them without even. I got through to him without even saying who I was with my real name.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. But all right, so
once I got him on the phone,
but
I told him who I was. He's like, "Damn, dude, when you start your channel."
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, it ain't no.
Yeah, but listen. Let me ask you a question.
Realize,
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Now, you just said that you got through and you had you didn't have 0 subscribers or whatever, right? And you say you got through and he talked to you, right? And but you just told me that you see that you said that you just admitted like you're not talking about me, but you're talking about the other brothers.
Yeah.
Right. So why he won't answer me then?
No, that was that one time, baby. But it's like I'll put it like this,
bro. It's behind. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you, it's deeper. It's deeper. It's deeper than what you think it is. That's what I'm gonna tell you, bro.
I know it's deeper than what you think it is.
Right, but this what I'm saying.
You think you are. You might not be standing there as for trail boxing. Trail boxing is basically one of the biggest driving engines. So for basically for at least an hour every day, at least 10 minutes out of each show, sometimes the whole show you'll hear Blue just Black just straight shit on Crawford. And you got to realize that I might not, just like when I go somewhere, I represent my neighborhood regardless. They don't look at, when I'm in my town, when I go back home, I still represent my neighborhood. When you out there, Blue, you represent everything that's said on Trill Boxing, everything that's said on Fanon, all the way through to KQKP. When they see you, you're the O'Reilly of the LDBC. As far as figure, you're a journalist, but as far as prominency, people know you all across the country. Like my girl be like, we watching other boxing videos. My girl's like, damn, they're Blue. You know what I mean? Like, you that big, bro. So when we look at you, we kind of project that energy that we're getting from Fanon. You know what I mean? You represent that, bro. You the face.
I dig what you're saying, but Terence has to. I dig what you're saying, but Terence has to realize that we all support him. What happens is you get some people that just get tired. Like 7-8 was chasing him for 6 years. You see what I'm saying? So you just get it gets to a point where it's like, why I'm chasing you like I'm a girl? No, you gotta lock in with us when we supporting you. You see what I'm saying?
They ain't chased him though. I talked to him personally. He ain't talking to them. But anytime they reached out to that camp, it's been a response back. It wasn't. But even both of them tell him like, man, y'all gotta catch Bud at certain times, man, and I'm gonna try to make that happen. But Bomax done been on Trill, he done been on Smoke City, and even when he was over there, he was just cracking straight shooting shit.
Yeah, but you see that he said, you see what?
I want people to realize that y'all, like with Bomax, he talking shit, like the LDBC is taking personal. Oh, like he get attacked from 7 channels, bro. Like if you thinking Bud is one person, the LDBC is like 10 channels. So you got 10 people.
Right. So we okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that you making my point exactly. So we the biggest engine on YouTube. We like ESPN. Like ESPN is the biggest engine on mainstream media, right? So
old TV.
Right. So but when they say something negative, when they say something negative about him, that don't stop him from going on. You see what I'm saying? But I got to get to the next caller. But do you dig what I'm saying? When ESPN, if Max Kellerman, he signed to ESPN and they directly disrespect him, that don't stop him from going on. So if one of the brothers, if we the biggest engine on YouTube, if one of the brothers say something that he don't like, all right, that's cool. That shouldn't stop you from coming on.
Though, bro. It's not one. We're talking like 10, bro.
All right, but when you get Max Kellerman, listen what I'm saying. When you get Max Kellerman and you get these dudes saying, hey, Crawford did on his own promoter disrespects him. His own promoter.
Yeah, nobody worry about Lioness Bob.
But listen, we can't. But I dig what you're saying. But we can't say that, right? Because you got to have that energy for everybody. It's easy to have that energy for us, right? Because he claimed that he don't need us. But if you're gonna carry that energy, you got to have that energy for your promoter too. That's shortchanging you, because he directly affecting your way of living. You dig what I'm saying? But I gotta get to the next caller. Don't be a stranger, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
Salute.
All right, peace.
What was his name again on Blue?
Stone Bone Boxing, I think.
Stone Bone Boxing, okay.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
BFTD.
I already knew who it was. I already knew. What's
The,
shaking?
the grave digger himself.
Hey, yo, King, turn your phone up some.
Yeah, we want to hear what you got to say, BF.
What's good, family? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So listen, bro. Listen, I need to call in. I need to address this family. I'm not gonna take up much of your time. My brother.
Go ahead and cook, brother.
I have spent hours and hours and hours and days digging up Terence Bud Crawford. Okay, I did a 6-hour live debating my Texas brothers on Terence Crawford, and I was all on Bud Crawford's side. I don't understand what he's doing. I'm trying to figure. And Blue, I have seen you do videos bigging up Bud Crawford. The videos are still up for anybody thinking otherwise. They are still up. I have seen 78 do videos bigging up, matter of fact, defending, protecting Bud at all costs, regardless of what anybody says. 78 has come to this man's rescue, even though he has been trying to get an interview with him for 6 years. These are facts, bro. This is non-debatable. The videos are still up. All right. And for anybody going and saying that Black crapping on Bud, that is a lie. That is a lie. Black has been to Bud's state, bro. He's been to Nebraska. He's chilled with those guys. He's been to their gym. He has said this consistently, that he loves Terence Bud Crawford. The problem is the man is showing some type of negativity towards them. Now, dude, my brother that was just on the live, you know what I'm saying, that was just on and spoke to you. He don't realize what he just said. The biggest engine in the sport of boxing right now is the LDBC, point blank and period. All right. Now, if you don't want to get your name out there, then stay away from us. Fine. Go to your TMZ, which doesn't even have 1 million views. Go do, you know what I'm saying, your other things. Go do that. Stay away from us, shy away, and then blame us as if it's our fault. But the last I checked, I had never done an interview with Terence Bud Crawford. Never. And I had picked this man up consistently and habitually. I have told anybody that would listen to me that he was my #1 pound-for-pound fighter until I changed it to Deontay Wilder since I started putting heavyweights on there. I have done this, I don't know how many times, and I've debated with plenty of people about this situation. I do not put him there no more. Bro, it's like this. I'm a consistent dude. If you F with me, then I F with you, right? If you choose to not F with me, then why should I kiss your behind to F with you? Bro, if you don't want to be with me, then I won't be with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm going to leave this last point. It's like my brother Blue. If I text my brother Blue, Blue will text me back. If I text my brother Blue, and Blue says, don't text me no more, and who do I look like continually texting this man? He don't want to talk to me. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. I don't understand why we making this. All these people that are coming up the woodwork mad at us because we're speaking facts. Well, where were they at when we were speaking the same facts on Bud Crawford's side? They didn't have no problem with us when we were speaking those facts when we were picking up Bud. They had no beef. None. But now that we're speaking the facts and they're against their favorite fighter, all of a sudden it's the whole LDBC that got a problem. Bro, and anybody that has an issue with it, you know what a great guy. Yeah. And I'm gonna let the legends cook in the boxing frame. Much love and respect to y'all, bro.
Yo, you could cook as long as you want, brother.
Yeah. Yo, you don't gotta stop BF. Go ahead, bro.
We would cook, but I know people want to come in.
No, that's all right. Go ahead and cook, brother.
Sure. All right. Well, say no more. Well, look. Well, see. Here's the thing, bro. This is my thing. I have consistently pressed for Bud. Consistently, bro. And even when that video came out, right? When Errol said, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street and then I'll fight you, right? When he said that, that was my 6-hour live. It's still up. Anybody that don't believe me, it's still up. I have not taken it down. I said Errol Spence is not scared of this man, but he is strategically ducking him. Because he cannot try to fight anybody else and press for that action. I had said this, I still say this, I have not changed my stance. All right. The problem is Bob Arum is the problem. He's been the problem. I've shown everybody that this man's the problem based on history and current to back this up. You know what I'm saying? This man has consistently, habitually hindered fights. He hindered the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao fight. He hindered the Bud Crawford Manny Pacquiao fight. And a lot of these guys, right, that have these issues with, they just want to see Errol and Bud fight, right? Well, where was this pressure? Where was this pressure for Bud and Pacquiao? Because they were under the same promotional team. Where was this pressure? Not only was there no pressure, right? Not was there no pressure, but when Bob Arum came out and said that he killed that fight, it's on video. He killed that fight. They said nothing to him. Nothing. They just let the man just skate. It was okay for him to crap on the and stop the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight for 5 years. It took Floyd Mayweather, the biggest name in boxing, to go to Manny Pacquiao's apartment or his hotel to make that fight happen and bypass Bob Arum, right? But nobody was talking about that. They just come in crapping on Errol. Oh, it was Errol's fault. Okay, well, Errol was not in top rank when the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao debacle was going on. Whose fault was that? All right, they don't talk about when Manny Pacquiao had said that he was, and Frank Roach had said that they were willing to fight Bud Crawford, right? They were willing to fight him. They weren't talking about the weight classes, nothing like that. When they were saying you got to go to 140 or whatever the case may be. Well, where's all these same people? These same ones that say that we're hating, we're disrespecting Bud. Where were those guys at? Because they just want to see the fight, right? So where were they at pressing anybody in that scenario? Oh, why isn't Pacquiao getting his shot with Bud? Why isn't Bud getting his shot with Manny Pacquiao? Nobody was blaming Bob Arum. It's for some strange reason, they throw it out completely out the window that Bob Arum just killed the Wilder Fury rematch. He just killed it. And they threw it out the window too. It's just Errol's fault. Then they come in here, and when we start saying, okay, well, look, bro, we're saying the same facts that we were saying when it came to Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. We're saying the exact same facts, bro. The same facts. Now these people come here saying, big disrespecting Bud. He said this. So what? So? And then don't talk to them then. Bro, there's plenty of people in some of my LDBC brothers that I don't agree with what they're saying. They're still my brothers. That doesn't mean I got to speak to them about that situation. I'll speak to them about something else. If somebody says something about Bud Crawford that Bud Crawford don't like, fine. It does not change the fact that the LDBC is the biggest platform. It's a push boxing, period. It is the biggest platform to push boxing. Trail boxing, 78 leading the way, right with Blood, right with Blue right behind him. You know what I'm saying? Or right in that mix. These are facts, bro. This is non-debatable. Non-debatable. Because if you remove it out of the picture, ain't nobody talking about Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Nobody, because nobody cares. They don't know these guys. We make these guys known. We press the videos. We got hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers. Watching this. You know what I'm saying? Pressing this action. We have you are out these streets. You fly to Alabama. You fly to LA. You're all of these things. Bring this action to us. Ain't nobody bring this to us. I don't see nobody else. All these two that they're talking about. Oh, you guys hate. Well, where are those guys that you say are not hating? Where are their videos at? Where are their interviews with Bud Crawford? Where are their interviews? Where are they traveling to these places, bringing this information to the public? I don't see any of them. None of them. We bring this stuff. We run this stuff. We push the narrative. But yet they're gonna say we need to push a different narrative for Bud. What? How are we supposed to push the narrative that Bud wants? That Bud wants? Bud don't talk to us. How are we supposed to do this? This is no shade. This is no shade. These are facts. I'm not gonna read this man's mind and try to figure out, oh well, what does he really want to do? Well, what does he really want that? What does he really want? I don't know what you want, dude. Well, nobody was saying any of this information, right? None of this when Bud was at 140, moving up to 147, and calling out Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. You wouldn't even mention Errol's name. Where were those? Where are these same people now that are saying, "Oh, it's LDB"? No, we were pressing this action. We were pressing this. We were saying, "Look, bro, you mention what's his name? Mention Errol Spence. They call this man out." We were saying Pacquiao is fucking Bud Crawford. We were saying this. We were pushing this, but now all of a sudden we're the bad guys. All of a sudden now we are the bad guys because we are not kissing this man's behind. Man, get out of my face, bro. Listen, I am a consistent dude. I've been that. I will forever and always be that. Ain't nobody gonna change me, bro. But this guy sitting here talking about you don't want to talk to me, but I'm supposed to bend over backwards and big you up and get out of my face, bro. Get all the way out of my face, bro. If you want me to big you up, then come tell me what you want me to big you up on. All right? Come tell me that. Because like you said in the beginning, we are the platform. We drive the narrative. We push this for you. All right? So come tell us what you want us to push for you.
My brother, BFTB Boxing. Go subscribe to my brother, BFTB Boxing, man. Go subscribe to my brother. Hey, Kurt, we got the brother Money Powell in the building. Hey, Kurt, I forgot that I had sent money to the link and forgot
Money.
to tell him.
Oh man, Money Power, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, it's all good, fellas. What's happening? What's going on now?
Hey, Money,
Not much, man.
I apologize, Money. I
It's all
sent you
good.
the link. You first said send me the link, and I told you I sent it and didn't respond, and I just sent it and didn't tell him I sent it. Hey, we got a call. Let's get to this call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Huh?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Look, Errol Spence, you a bitch ass nigga.
Goodbye, man.
Oh man, come on now.
Man,
Come on.
wow, man.
Wow, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
This dude was
Wow.
in a horrible wreck.
Wow.
You see, this is why. This is why. So when you get, this is why we gotta screen the callers and all this, man. Why you come on here to say that?
Mm.
And then and see, he just
Mm.
messed it up, man. Because some dudes I answer private calls, private calls, man, and it's good callers. But now I can't answer no more private calls, man. I can't answer no more private. So if you call private, I can't answer, man.
You have got to be joking. So sad.
Really, man.
Low class.
You know what I'm saying?
Low class.
Yeah, man.
I
really,
tell you, man, boxing brings out the kooks, man.
it does, man.
Yeah.
That's like, man. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this is Bontown South D-Town.
My brother, Bon South D-Town in the building.
Salute.
Y'all expect what's up with
What's up?
What's with Money Power?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's up? Ain't nothing, everything. I just want to say a few things, man. I don't want to hold it out too long.
It's all good.
About Terence Crawford support from the LGBC. I want to say this: if they don't remember, go back and watch the Smoke City Mob before they put it on Junior, the other website, check it out for YouTube. It might have been eight people on the panel. Probably 4 was for Bud and 4 was for Errol. One guy had a Terence Crawford logo with his face and a king hat on.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's Southside boxing.
They were going back, right? They were going back and forth about Bud and Errol Spence. They were supporting on both sides, LGBC for sure. So they go back and watch those old videos. Smoke City Mob, but at one point, it come a time to a point where you got respect is not given; it is earned. So again, they supported Bud, but then he fell off like Pookie. He ain't really never get no support back. So when you say respect is not given, it is earned. That's kind of what happened. Ain't nothing we can do about it. All we can do is just move on. We just gave him some chance. Look, man, stay loyal to the soil. The people that stay loyal to you, man. All it's gonna do is benefit you. It's free advertising. We put you out there over the whole YouTube. Everybody's hearing about you. You got just call in, have an interview, say your piece, go ahead. You don't get your friends that support us. Don't be like they don't come more just trying to hear you. They know where you at now.
And the thing is, you see, like I debated Ticket. I debated Fanon in favor of Errol Spence, in favor of Terence Crawford. Not knocking either guy, but we was debating who wanted to fight and who didn't want to fight. So when was we disrespecting Terence Crawford? Never.
Right.
Tax Tag. I see Tax Tag saying that soon as Terence Crawford announced he was going to 147, we was on his head. What you mean? No, he wasn't. He went up to 47 to fight Jeff Horn. Nobody was talking about him fighting Errol Spence at that time. He's going to fight Jeff Horn. So how could we be on his helmet? Come on, man. Come on. Let's listen. We understand that, a lot of dudes are for Terence Crawford, a lot of dudes for Errol Spence. 7-8 said this. He said this numerous of times. He said, oh man, I see where this is going. This is going to start turning brothers against brothers. That's exactly what 7-8 been saying for quite some time. And that's exactly what's coming true. Because people, instead of them just staying down the middle, and admitting, listen, if Terence Crawford is wrong, you're a fan of Terence Crawford, just admit that he was wrong. If Errol Spence is wrong in his approach, then just admit Errol Spence is wrong. It's not that hard.
I agree.
Right? But we campaigning for the other side, for your side, because we loyal to the soil, 10 toes down, and we don't want to waver. We ain't gonna say, nah, Bud was wrong for doing this. Come on, man. That's why we bring facts into the equation. That's why I said when you look at the pay-per-view numbers, and Terence Crawford is saying, oh, Errol just need to sign the contract. He talking about 60-40. Well, you look at the pay-per-view numbers, the facts are the facts. Errol had the leverage. Why would he give up his leverage? If Floyd Mayweather ever give up his leverage, did Manny Pacquiao ever give up his leverage? Did Sugar Ray Leonard give up his leverage? Did Mike Tyson give up his leverage? Lennox Lewis give up his leverage? Why should Errol Spence give up his leverage? Am I right, fellas?
You're right.
All right. No one's going to give up their leverage. No one.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Money. Go ahead, Money.
That is, look, when I was in the Army. It's a thing called rank has its privilege, okay? And when you earn that, you deserve it, and no one's just going to give that up just like that. That's insane. You're just not going to give up your leverage. You take everything away from yourself in case if something goes wrong. No one's going to do that. It's been proven time and time again. I'm not giving up my leverage, period.
And you know what's funny about that, Money?
What's that?
Kurt, about this out, you know what's funny? Did Terence Crawford ever give up his leverage?
No.
Did he give Amir Khan 60-40 in favor of Khan?
No.
Did he give Benavidez a 60-40 in favor of Benavidez?
No.
And just say, well, you was talking smack, so I'm just going to fight you and give you whatever you want. Huh? Did he give Benavidez a 50-50 split?
Watch this here, bro. Because the A side not only consists of the financial side, it consists of what size ring.
Right.
Errol might want a bigger ring. Earl might want a smaller ring. The girl side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
All that's going to have to be determined by the person, the A side, basically. So all that's going to play a part too. So why would I give up that?
Right.
I've been working hard fighting these top fighters, and you coming around, you undisputed everything, but in this division, I've been fighting top fighters, so I earned that. So why would I give it up?
Exactly, bro. And think about this, right? Jose Benavidez disrespected Terence Crawford. Remember they had that scuffle in the back behind the scenes, and we seen it. And he told Benavidez, focus on your fight before you don't make your fight, right? So that it got personal, right? It got personal to the point where they was gonna fight at Terence Crawford gym. He threw a punch at the weigh-in, right? That's how personal it got, right? So did he say, well, I'll give Benavidez a 50-50 split just because it's personal and I want to fight him?
No.
Absolutely not.
I agree.
Absolutely not. He still had the leverage.
Man, listen, man, I'm back for Bullet and Smith all day. You see me in the chat. I stay down with even though when they be in the chat going back and forth, I stay down for I just say, I feel like this. This is my thing. When it's all said and done, this is what I say. I say, the Terence Crawford contract is over. If he get away from Bob, I actually believe that Errol Spence is a real one. He would give Terence Crawford 50-50 and they split the money. That's what I believe. Because I feel Earl would do that if he wasn't with Bob. If their contract is over, everything's going to come out what's really going on with Terence Crawford. Because you can't really hold him down because he was 147 when he first signed with Bob. He was at 140. He came to 147. He did it again, but he had just got to 147. But this next time, everything's going to be out in the open. You know what I'm saying? If you're going, you know what I'm saying, start your own promoter company. Go ahead and just work with Al Henry. Y'all make the fight and y'all keep all the money.
And in the same token, right? Terence Crawford said, I blame my promoter and my promotional company for fight not happening. So wait a minute. Why are people not paying attention to all of this? If you're blaming your promotional company, that's where the buck stops. you can't blame nobody else, because then how do you know your promotional company is even bringing the best offer to the table for the other side to be at blame?
Yeah.
Well,
all right, bro, I'm gonna bounce around, man. I just want to say this one thing, man. I mentioned it A-Sound. I don't know if you remember that picture we took at A-Sound at the barbershop when you did a little community thing for the barbershop.
For sure.
There, you might not remember. I don't know. But take a picture. Take that picture. I'll take a picture again. I'm in there.
Well, if you put it up on social media, just tag me in it. Tag me in it on social media.
Yeah, I mentioned A-Sound.
Okay.
About the trolls, this cat named Ace Money, J Money, Counterfeit Money, I don't know his name. He always called in. He do the same thing as BLTV. He'll get the link. He'll come in there and try to go out. He did the same thing one day. We were listening to what's his name? Boxing Boys. Wasn't this with you when that guy throw the water got on him too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now the Boxing Boys, we rock with them and everything. Everything rock with them. This is his boy. That's his channel. He was over there one day. He just called in and was going out. F this. Credit to Ness. He cut the cat mic off. You know what I'm saying? But he came on your channel and said somebody he threw water on you. He threw water on you and you didn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But he did that to Ness. He threw water on Ness too. So that lets you know how delusional these trolls is.
He was actually aiming at Ness. He was actually aiming at Ness.
Right. You see, and actually, Fanon was over there in the chat that day. He did that. Fanon took the high road and it was super tagged and everything. No, man, look, man, we ain't trying to. He was trying to put us against the boxing board because everybody in the chat was putting in LDBC in the chat, and the other guy was putting in TBV. But it ain't about that. We all together. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to break us up or trying to do some negative stuff. Yep. But he hating on you, but he ain't hating on his boy Ness.
Nope.
Let's show you how delusional these trolls is.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say, man. I want to shout out Houston before I go. Shout out to Houston before I go. Because last time I shout out Dallas, no shade on San Antonio, the Austin, West of Texas. But shout out to North Side, South Side, Anchor's Home, Sunny Side, Southwest, Greenpoint Mall, 3rd Ward, 5th Ward. If I forgot to sit the hood, the neighborhood, man, don't hold me for that. Well, A-Style, stand up. I'm out.
Peace.
All right now.
My brother, legendary in the building. What's shaking?
Peace. What's up with it, Blue?
What's shaking with you, King?
Legendary Top Cats, man. What's going on, man?
Mr. Kirk. What's up, Mr. Kirk?
Hey, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm trying to pick myself back up. I had to call in the show. I got to pick myself back up. I'm at the ATM. I'm listening to the homie in Colorado. He go, oh, man, I just got $400 out the ATM and drove off. As soon as it said get the card, I took the card out and drove off, man, left the cash.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
They curse on here, but messing around with Blue Blood Sports Live, bro. You got my attention over here, man. I done drove off and left the cash, man.
Oh, man, you better go back and get that cash, King.
Because I was trying to call in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I said, nah, go on call back, man. Go on call anyway. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
What's up? What's shaking?
Hey, yo, you gotta send me your text me your email so you can jump on the show.
Okay. When? Right now?
No, next time.
Oh, yeah, now we
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll set it up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call in, man, and touch on that Crawford and EJ before I burn out, man. Homie over there talking crazy or whatever, man. It's all good. I really don't want to see the fight long as Crawford over there with Bob Arum. I don't want to see him get a penny. You know what I'm saying? I want Terence Crawford to take that and give it to him. Bob Arum probably make more than what Terence Crawford make out the fight. He the one, if he really gonna make that fight, like BF just went out and said, the homie ain't made none of these big fights, and told you, you understand me, he, with a strong pimp hand, it ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It ain't no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
Until Crawford gets you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see Earl move up to 154, because you ain't finna come over here and get this out the bag of him. If that was just him and Bud, cool. But if it's Bob Arum, no, sir. You understand me? That dead is dead. We already know he took Tyrone from Ali, and the Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a different topic. But he been outsmarting black people for a long time.
Right.
You feel me? That day dead now. You ain't finna come on and look. Al, one of the most brilliant minds on the planet, he ain't having it. He finally bumped into a black man that ain't having it with him. And Al Heyman is handling him like a redhead stepchild with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this before I get out of here. Terence Crawford, at the end of the day, that's still our brother. You know what I'm saying? The homie talking about niggas hate him and the LBC and all. Hey, that's our brother, that's our family. Bud is our family, homie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just gone right now. He'll come back home.
Yeah.
You understand me? Because after all of this gone, after all this energy gone, he ain't gonna have nobody but us. You understand me, man? And we still gonna be right here for him, man. Hey, y'all turn up, man. Hey, man. Loving the show, you feel me, man? I just took an L on the show.
Hey, man, you gotta go back and get that bread, bro. You gotta go get
man.
Go back and get it. Yeah, word up. Seriously.
Run back and get
get
it.
that bread, King.
Y'all hold it down. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, legendary. Peace.
No. All right. Hey, but you know something?
Legendary
Look,
Top Catch, man. Go subscribe to Legendary Top Catch, man. That's my brother right there. Go ahead, Money.
no, I was gonna say, Legendary made a very good point. When have you ever seen anyone under the Top Rank, umbrella with a promotion that's a fighter?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't.
Hey, you know what? Hey, we ain't never seen that.
No, you never seen that. You never seen that. You've seen it obviously with that. Also, you do have that with over on the zone. A couple of guys over on the zone, they have their promotion company. So because it's changing. You still have Bob Arum, who is of the old way. And these young dudes coming up now, they're like, hey man, I need to see something a little bit different now. Yep. You know, what I can say is this much. When you deal with Top Rank, you're going to get excellent matchups with the matchmakers. But your pay, if you're looking to be a pay-per-view star, is going to stifle. It's going to hit a glass ceiling. And just like all of the other guys in the past, they're going to leave and they're going to head somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It's a fact.
And you know what's something else, Money, I thought about while they was talking?
What's that?
When BFTV was saying all of the fights that Bob Arum never made, people forget how Bob Arum conveniently never made the Cotto Mayweather fight.
Hey,
there's so many fights that never was made. Go ahead, Kurt.
I don't think for a black fighter, no black fighter should be on Top Rank. See what Bob Arum, boxing promoters are like car salesmen. See, this is what happens. He used a Hispanic fan base when he had Hispanic fighters, but as soon as Manny Pacquiao came to rise meteorically, and came popular, he used the Filipino fan base because Aaron understood, if I put my fighter, a certain nationality with their ethnic group, of course, like, he put, he'll put Puerto Rican fighter in Madison Square Garden and he could put Manny Pacquiao anywhere. But see, with black fans, he didn't have enough faith, and he don't have faith in Terence Crawford because he said black boxing fans only support Floyd Mayweather. That's what he said, So, for the life of me, I think Terrence's contract is up, but for the life of me, I don't know why he resigned. If he resigns again, I'm through.
Yep.
Makes absolutely no sense. That means he never learned from the lessons of Manny Pacquiao. When he had re-signed and he had a chance to walk away much earlier, could have fought Floyd much earlier, So I don't know, man. It's a very unfortunate situation, but if he wants big money, he's not going to get it with Bob.
And then you got to think about this, right? You got to look at the situation. Bob Arum, while Terence Crawford is there, tells him, Vasil Lomachenko is the greatest fighter I've seen since Muhammad Ali. And then he does the interview, and then he says, Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet, but he's just not marketable. Huh? If I'm Terence Crawford, you don't feel a certain kind of way about that?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're supposed to market.
It's like, what do you mean by I'm not marketable?
Right.
We need to sit down and you need to tell me exactly what's going on because I'm not about any trouble. I'm about my business. I go out there and I take care of business, just like Vasily Lomachenko.
Right.
You know, it's like, what am I doing different outside of Vasily Lomachenko?
Right.
I want you to explain that to me. I'm not talking about anyone else.
Right.
Because that's your real boy right there. Just say it and get it over with.
Right.
You know,
and that's what, and then people take that, they take our critiquing the situation with Terence Crawford as disliking him.
No,
it's not
at
same
all.
thing. It's not the same. We don't dislike Terence Crawford. We're not in favor of the moves that he's making. It's two different things.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in favor of the moves he's making because he's not okay. Again, like people will fault us and say that we're saying this about Terence Crawford and saying that. Terence Crawford went on, I believe it was Fight Hype, right? And he said, well, if the Spence fight happens, then it happens. And if it don't, then it don't. You know, basically no skin off my back. Huh? So and you're saying your promoter is at fault for the fight not happening. But in the same token, because he can't solely place blame on his promoter, he has to place blame on multiple people because then you're able to criticize him, right? So he said, well, my promoter and my manager team is at blame, but so is Errol Spence and Errol Spence's team. But in the same token, he says, when asked, you think Errol Spence is avoiding you? He says no. So that means
that's a major contradiction.
Right. So that says to me that your team is at fault for this fight not happening. But you don't want to say it's just your team because then people are going to say, why don't you get rid of that team? That's almost an admission that we were right by saying that you made the wrong move.
Yeah.
And he don't want to do that. But fellas, we got to get out of here. It's 8:05 already, man. Go ahead, Money. You got any last words? Hey, Money, I want to apologize, man. I sent you the link and forgot that I sent it, man. Forgot to tell you.
It's okay. It's okay. But look, I wish, it's unfortunate for Chaz Witherspoon that he's going to be used and abused served like hell tomorrow evening. But, oh well. Hey, he's the sacrificial lamb. I guess someone had to do it, So there you have it. Good luck to him.
Hey, Money, it's funny that you said that. Did you see the interview that Eddie Hearn said? Eddie Hearn said when he called Chaz Witherspoon, he asked him, are you going to give everything you got in this fight, or are you just going to lay down and the people going to start to boo me? Eddie Hearn said he asked Chaz Witherspoon that. Because I don't want a guy that come in there and just lay down. I want a guy that actually tries.
Chaz, I just have to come back and just sure.
Yeah, he said,
sure.
I want a guy that actually tries. Are you going to try? What do you mean? That sounds bizarre. But go ahead, Money. Finish up.
No, I mean, if I was Chaz, I would just simply say, well, a couple of cars I was thinking about buying this weekend after the fight, and just lead on in from there, man, just to see what Eddie's response would be after that. I'd go completely opposite. I'm like, why would you even ask me something like that?
That sounds crazy.
Why would you even call me up? Why would you even call me up to ask me something like that?
Right.
That's insane. It's like, of course I'm just not coming in there just to lay down. No. Even though he is going to lay down. But he's gonna he's gonna give it the best that he has, man. I wish you all the best for Chaz, but it will be an ultimate fail for him. I don't want.
Hey, Kurt, close us out, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, another great show as always, man. And I think the chat, Money. And Blue, the legend, the capo, man, always on the front lines, man. The show is great. We got a show tomorrow, man. And hey, man, we'll be back at it tomorrow. 2 hours flew again. It seems like it's 20 minutes. And, that's a testament to the chemistry that we have on the show. And I just want to say peace.
Hey, you guys want to do the Usyk fight tomorrow?
I'll be on the highway because I won't be able to. I'll probably be able to listen into you. I might be able to, but more than likely I'll be on the highway, man, headed back home. We're down here in Miami, so after they spar tomorrow, hey man, we're on the road headed back.
I'm surprised you got any service down there, man. That service in Florida is horrible.
Miami's better. You know, I don't. It's pretty
Kurt,
cool down this way.
It's on the zone, so I know you got to use your phone to be on it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to. Yeah, anything that's on the zone, I look at it through my phone, so I won't be able to do it live though.
All right, so you tell you what, if we'll do it after the fight then.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, let's do it that way. So go ahead, Kurt, close us out.
Hey, like I said, great show like always. The Capo, the legend, you know, Blue, man, and Money Powell, man. You know, thank you for jumping on. Thanks to chat, you know, and thank all the callers. If we disagree or agree, you know, we thank you for your your participation. And I just want to say peace.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all we got for y'all. Salute. Peace.
Peace.
Peace now. Showing up.